Soleil was watching from the doorway. "I think that's enough," she said sharply. Amaris cast a longing glance at her as she raised her head above Mike, licking the blood off of her lips. Mike gave a disappointed groan below her. "Enough watching, you mean?" Amaris asked suggestively as she slid off of Mike and onto the floor. His bare feet padded along the carpet. She raised her arms widely and slid closer to her. "You are welcome to be next, you know." Soleil pulled out her gun and fired. The bullet slammed straight into Amaris's head, and she reeled backwards. The bullet clattered to the ground at her feet as Amaris rubbed her forehead. "Ow," she complained. "That stings." Soleil fired again, and Amaris took another bullet to the head. Again it clattered to the floor. "You could have just said no." Amaris huffed as she reached for the black coat she had set on her chair. "I am going out. Look after him, will you?" And before Soleil could even protest, Amaris had donned her cloak and pushed past her into the hall. Soleil turned and watched her leave before turning to Mike. "Are you all right?" she asked anxiously, stepping towards him. She kneeled down by his bedside and cupped his head in her hands. She tried to keep the disgust out of her face. He seemed downright ecstatic, despite how pale and weak he looked. Despite his better qualities, Soleil had to admit that she was a little disappointed with how much he seemed to enjoy being bitten. "Hey, Soleil," he slurred as she ran her fingers over him. "It really isn't that bad." Soleil stared at him pityingly. "You are naive," she said simply. "She is only using you for her own gain. You are nothing to her." He closed his eyes and laid still. Soleil watched him carefully. He had fallen asleep. She sighed in disappointment, shaking her head as she gently laid his head on the pillow and tried her best to make him comfortable. She was not sure where Amaris went immediately after feeding. Some distance away, probably. Soleil had noticed that Amaris was extremely confident after every feeding. Not without good reason, of course. She had steadily been regaining her strength since she had started feeding on Mike. She had likely gone to taunt the brides in some fashion, or perhaps deal with a threat on her own.